What's up, guys? Today I am doing a Q&A about motherhood in Korea. So the first question is, what is the biggest impact of having a baby, or actually two babies? I had my last baby 3 months ago, and then my other child is, almost 2 years old. So what impact has it made on you as a person? Well, actually, as you may be able to tell, my eczema is flaring up. I've never had it anywhere but on my scalp, but since recently it has spread towards other places on my body, as well as my neck, the neckline right here, and other places, which means my body is not happy. And that could be of lack of sleep and stress and hormones. Like, there could be many reasons. But yeah, so I'm hoping that will fix itself soon because I don't want it to spread even more. But yeah, I'm looking for a solution. But that's the biggest impact it has had right now. And yeah. The next question is, have you lost any weight since giving birth? So I gave birth 3 months ago, and I gained, my weight was more than 70 kg. Yeah, that's a lot because I started around 56, 57, something like this. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah. And then I gave birth, and then that's in February I gave birth, and then I dropped weight until about 70, a little bit more than 70, and the first 6 weeks I didn't lose any weight. Actually, I had a lot more food when the baby woke up at night because I needed energy, and I was stressed, of course, so I ate a lot more at night. And then 6 weeks postpartum, I decided, okay, now I want to lose weight. So I started losing weight, and since then I have lost 7 kg. And I need to lose another 10 kg maybe to be like most comfortable. But my goal this summer is to be below 60. So I'm around 63 right now. So that's 3 more kg, and right now it's May. So what is the reality of living with a 3-month-old and a almost 2-year-old? So my oldest son is turning 2 years old at the end of May, and then my second son will be almost 4 months old. Right now, I think the worst part of sleeping was between 0 and 3 months old. Right now, my baby is learning how to self-soothe and fall asleep on his own. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's starting to get better. And then actually, my 2-year-old is going through a sleep regression, which means that he's having a hard time staying asleep and also falling asleep because he really wants to sleep next to one of us. He does not like sleeping alone. But even if we sleep next to him, he wakes up at night, like crying, and maybe he's having nightmares or something else. But he cannot tell us yet because he doesn't know how to talk that much yet. He knows some basic words, which brings me to another question, like, oh, how is your toddler's speech doing? And like, it's still not great, but like, it's normal for his age. But like, the tantrums that he's having, like meltdowns, are all related to not being able to express himself. And also, we cannot explain things to him properly because he doesn't understand yet. So that's probably the most frustrating thing right now. But yeah, it's just a phase, and I'm hoping he'll learn how to understand like speech more soon. How do Koreans react to your half Korean sons? So my sons are half Korean, half Dutch, and they are being raised bilingual. Not so much Dutch, but a lot of Korean and English. So whenever we go outside, there's always people that want to touch them or pick them up or wave at them or talk to them. So I think that's also another culture difference where people always want to touch my children. Not always, but a lot. And I have to like figure that out in the moment. Um, but yeah, people love my children. Like they like speaking to them and like giving them candy and like um they react really positively to my children, and I'm really happy because that means they are welcomed into Korean culture and the Korean society, which is obviously something I really want. So right now they are being loved by everyone and it's great. The next question is how many children do you want? I mean, do you want one more child? Do you want a third child? And I would say right now I have two children and they are both male. And I would love to have a third and experience having a girl, but even if my third would be a boy, it would be fine. But having a third child is a very big decision to me because it takes a lot out of you financially. There's time involved and attention, and also living my own life next to my children's lives. So right now I'm very busy raising my two children. I still wake up multiple times at night taking care of my baby, and then my toddler also wakes up at night, and then in the morning I get my toddler ready for Korean daycare, and then sometimes they're crying at the same time, and and then I pick up my child from daycare and I have to prepare dinner, and navigating these two things at the same time, it's really difficult on your own. So for example, I'll have the baby in the carrier with me or next to me, but then at the same time I have to give attention to my toddler. So there's just a lot going on right now, and if I had a third, it would be impossible. It would be possible but almost impossible. So right now a third, maybe if I really wanted to, I would do it in like 3 to 5 years. But for now, I am very content with two children since it takes up a lot of time. I would love a third though, but yeah, a little bit later. If it's going to happen, it will be a little bit later. Which brings me to the next question, which is, does your son go to Korean daycare? And yes, he does. We signed him up for the spring semester. He started the beginning of March this year, and he's doing really well. I'm really glad we signed him up for it. He has learned a lot of things like washing his hands before eating, brushing his teeth, saying hello to his teacher or goodbye. He's learning how to play with his friends and how to socialize in a group setting. He has field trips and he has a lot of fun like painting and drawing, and he always has like lots of food there. There's a morning snack, a lunch, which he always eats 2 or 3 portions except for when he's sick. And then there's also an afternoon snack, which he always eats. And yeah, he's very happy there. Yeah, and I think I should have signed him up earlier, but there was a waiting time, or like we missed the period or something, the sign-up period. So I think after this semester ends, he'll go again in the fall. Yeah, he's happy there, and I'm happy I have some more free time, which isn't exactly free time. It's just time I can spend on the baby and then cleaning up the house or making videos or something like this. Is your husband involved in taking care of the children? And yes, he is. He actually is. So he has a full-time job. so he is very busy. But when he has some time off, or he's done working for that day, he helps taking care of the baby, making him sleep, giving milk. And then my toddler, sometimes my toddler only wants to be picked up by my husband. So he takes care of the toddler in those times. And then he takes baths. He takes the toddler a bath, and he prepares dinner as well, and he gives him a meal. And then there's also at night, so we decided, okay, I'm going to take care of the baby at night mainly, and then he's mainly going to take care of the toddler at night, since he wakes up at night a lot still. And recently a lot of nights he's sleeping next to our toddler because he doesn't want to sleep alone. So yeah, he is involved, and I think if he wasn't involved, I would be even more stressed. So I'm happy he does help me out. What changed the most after having your second baby? So one child versus two children, is it easier than having 0 to 1? I would say going from 0 children to 1 child was wild. It was absolutely wild. The sleep deprivation, the amount of stress you suddenly have, you have like literally no time. You're always like spending time with your child. And now going from 1 to 2 children, I know what I'm doing. Like it's much easier because I know what to expect. And the only problem is they're pretty close in age, so they need me at the same time sometimes, and that's very stressful when they're both crying, for example. But other than that, I'm pretty happy. So the reason why I wanted them close in age is because I just wanted to get it over with. I mean, the sleep deprivation is going to be there regardless, the diapers, the baths. So when they're a little bit older, I can bathe them together, feed them together, dress them like at the same time. So it's easier in that way. So that's why I decided to do it. And yeah, it has a big toll on you, all of this on my body personally, because I made them, and the sleep deprivation is definitely not good. As I told you about my eczema, and like the lack of sleep is like it doesn't help anything. So I just wanted to get it over with, and yeah, I'm happy. So is motherhood lonely in Korea? I would say no. So I have 2 children. With my first child, I stayed in the apartment a lot actually. But with my second child, now I decided to put my first child in daycare, which means I'm getting out at least 5 times in the morning to bring him to daycare, which automatically it makes it so I have contact with other mothers. And then after school, after daycare, we usually go to the playground, and that's where I meet a lot of mothers. And since March, I've had a lot more contact and made like friends. I see them all the time now, and yeah, so in that way, I think it's not that lonely. But for me, the first year of having a child was pretty lonely. But that was probably my own doing, because I decided to stay inside a lot more, because it was just a lot, like going from 0 to 1 child. But now going from 1 to 2 children, it's just like I'm like more experienced than before. So yeah, motherhood is easier in that way, even though I'm a lot more stressed now. Like I thought I was stressed with my first child, but now I'm double stressed. But I know what I'm doing. It's just a lot. Like they say you need a village, and I have a lot of help with like my grandparents who take care of my first child now more. Yeah, it's just, motherhood is not easy, but it's rewarding, and I'm grateful. Do you feel judged a lot as a mother in Korea? Um, So yeah, of course I'm judged. Your children are judged on the way they look, the way they act. For example, my toddler is having tantrums now and meltdowns over basically nothing, but it's totally like age appropriate. But still, you're being judged, of course, and the way they say thank you and whatever. So like I'm trying to teach my child to behave properly in society, and it's normal to be judged on that. I think it's really normal. Of course, if you decide to have a child, it's your responsibility as a parent to raise your children well.